Hi, I'm Kirby Allison, founder of the Hanger Project. And here at the Hanger Project, we love to help the well-dressed take care of their wardrobes. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to fill a fountain pen. In our last video on fountain pens and stationery, I talked about how my first fountain pen is this Ivory Waterman Elegance, and how they also have a matching black Elegance pen also that I really wanted in order to make a set. Well, after all the conversations that were going on in the comments section, I decided to finally pull the trigger on getting that second pen. So it just came in today, and we're going to be opening this for the first time. So this is the Waterman Elegance packaging, and you can see that it just comes in a nice Waterman box. So let's pull that out. Now, I absolutely love the gold detailing in this pen, and I like the idea of having a pair of something because this way I can put my black ink or my gray ink in my black pen, and then I can flush this out and refill it with a second color ink, maybe like a midnight navy. Anyway, I've been holding off on this for a long time, and I'm really excited to finally add a second fountain pen to my collection. And I wanted to use this as an opportunity to just go over, again, how you fill a fountain pen. So in our last video, I showed you how to actually remove the converter from the pen and to refill that directly in the ink cartridge. Some of the users on YouTube were commenting absolutely correctly that it is not necessary to remove your converter in order to refill that, and that you can actually refill it directly through the pen itself, and in some cases, it's actually easier to do that. So I'm just gonna show you how to do that in this video. So let's just start from scratch, right? So you've got your new fountain pen. You're gonna pull the cap off, right, to expose the nib, and then you're going to unscrew the barrel to then expose the converter, right? So I've got this right here. Now here's my inkwell jar, and I've got one of our shoe shine carpets here just because you want to be very careful about possibly spilling any ink. You know, pen ink is incredibly permanent, so if you get that on anything, you're never gonna get it off. So you wanna be very careful there. So either set out some newspaper or just do it someplace that you can be very careful. So I've got the new pen, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to fully depress this plunger all the way down to the bottom of the cartridge. Then just simply stick the nib in the inkwell jar and then draw the ink all the way through the pen into the cartridge. Now what's nice about doing it this way is that you're actually also priming the entire nib itself with ink, so you don't have to then flush the ink out in order to fill the pen to make it so that you can write. Now by sticking the entire nib into the inkwell jar and then drawing the ink through the nib all the way into the converter, what you're doing is you're just priming this entire system here, and it just makes it so that the pen is ready to write immediately. So I'm gonna screw this back on, and then again, I've got some paper here, and you know, let's see how this writes. You can see that, again, this is writing very nicely, and you know, new nibs, you know, do have to break in slightly just to kind of gain their flex, right? So it's just nice to, you know, write with them a little bit whenever you get them. But as you can see, I mean, having stuck this directly into the inkwell jar, you know, it's not messy, it's not getting ink everywhere. You know, if you're really worried about it, you know, you can just run the pen over some paper just to take any excess ink off. But otherwise, there's really nothing to worry about. So there we have it. Personally, I was very intimidated by purchasing my first fountain pen because I just thought that there was a lot of maintenance involved in taking care of one. And once I finally got my first fountain pen and learned how to use it, that couldn't have been any farther from the truth. I mean, a lot of fanatics and aficionados, you know, really talk about how fussy and how, you know, kind of specific and idiosyncratic some pens can be. But if you invest in a nice fountain pen and you're just going to use it to write at your desk or carry in your briefcase, it's really not that difficult to take care of. As I just showed you, you know, refilling a converter is incredibly easy to do. You can use cartridges if you'd like, and there's really just not an incredible amount of maintenance. One of the other things I just want to mention is that if you're ever flushing your pen, you never want to flush the ink back into the inkwell jar because bacteria that may have been picked up on the pen itself can contaminate the ink. And if you have bacteria growth that contaminates your ink and it gets into your pen, can actually ruin a really nice pen. So in the last video I showed you that you could just expel the ink into the inkwell jar and then refill it. You probably want to avoid doing that. One of the other things is before you refill your ink, always just kind of look inside and kind of visually inspect the ink itself. If you see any type of slicking or anything on the surface of the ink, it means that your ink has become contaminated and you probably just want to throw that ink away. It's not something that happens commonly, but I think it's just worth mentioning as some other YouTube users suggested. So here we go. I finally have completed the pair of Waterman Elegance pen. I have the Waterman Elegance in ivory, and then I have it in black here. And you can see I've got this nice pen case, that was given to me as a gift. And I like this because it's got a slot for 2 pens here, so I can keep both of my pens here, each with a different colored ink. I really look forward to the pleasure of continuing to write with a nice fountain pen. I'm very excited to have added the second one to my collection. It's a big step for me. And I encourage anyone on this YouTube channel that is watching this video that's kind of on the edge or the fence as to whether or not they should invest in a nice fountain pen. I'd really encourage you to go check out Goulet Pens or look on Amazon and buy your first fountain pen and enjoy that process with us. If you have any questions or if you just have anything to share with everyone else on this YouTube channel, please comment in the comment section below. If you like this video, give us the thumbs up, or better yet, subscribe to our channel and turn on our notifications so that you learn whenever we post new videos. Please take a moment to visit hangerproject.com, where we have the largest collection of luxury garment care and shoe care accessories in the world and other products for the well-dressed. I'm Kirby Allison, founder of The Hanger Project. Thanks for joining us.